welcome to the ICCA Congress. Welcome to Hong Kong. 歡迎你哋嚟到香港，歡迎你們來到香港。
Hi, and welcome to the Congress Center here in Hong Kong. This is the exhibition hall, and we have two big rooms where the panels are taking place. I'm going to check them out. Hi, it's good to see you.
Yes, good to see you too.
How are you enjoying the conference so far?
Great. Yeah, it's a great venue. I've never been to Hong Kong, so this is my first time in Hong Kong. So that's a good part of it as well.
How are you liking Hong Kong?
Hong Kong is interesting, impressive, I must say. I haven't been able to see much of it yet, but I'll try to see something of it before I go back to Holland.
Hi, Meryl. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too, Victoria.
Day 2 of the conference. How are you enjoying it?
Is it only day 2? It feels like day 5. I think for me it actually is day 5, but I'm very much enjoying it. Thank you for asking.
It's really lovely. What is the feedback that you're getting?
Well, we're getting a lot of wonderful feedback about the stalls in the auditorium, about the program as well. We're getting a lot of feedback that now that the black rain has stopped, that the Hong Kong is actually a nice place to be. But in all seriousness, I think a lot of people are seeing Hong Kong properly for the first time. So alongside the Congress, it's very nice to have that aspect as well.
Mara, you were involved in organising this event. And how do you feel now that it's here and it's happening? It's been a lot of work, I know, because I organised one before. So how are you feeling at this point?
At this point, I'm feeling very proud of the HKIC BD team because they have literally moved mountains to make this happen. They're all about to get very, very ill, I think, just from the lack of sleep they've had over the last few weeks. I'm feeling a little bit relieved that it's all gone off without a hitch. But also, I think it's a great, great story for Hong Kong. And there were moments there where I think all of us were a bit uncertain about how this was going to happen and what it would look like. So we're very, very happy that it's gone ahead so well, and it's a huge success, and so many participants as well.
So we're here with Professor Liu. You were giving a speech yesterday, as I can tell by the color.
I was, and it's always a pleasure to be at ICCA, which, as I said yesterday, I think has done amazing work in the area of identifying problems and developing them. And I admitted to my group yesterday that I was at my first ICCA was in New Delhi in December 1974. 1974, where most people around here were not born. But I was a very young lawyer at the time.
How has it changed over the years?
Numbers, and so many young people. My generation is there's some of us, but a lot of them are not. And when I was there, I was one of the few young people, and it was mainly much older people who were there. Then there was my age, as it is now.
And what is it about arbitration that keeps you fascinated and engaged?
Well, it's been a career for me. I was an academic and still are an academic, but I was working on a PhD at that stage, and it's been my life. And I'm both as a teacher and academic at the university, and also both as counsel and then as an arbitrator now.
And looking back on your experience, is there something that you see that is important for the arbitration community to take on forward?
Absolutely. There's no alternative. Until such time as you have one national court, which isn't going to happen. People want the privacy, and people want the independence, and it's the people who talk, the parties who want to go to arbitration, and that's where arbitration has to work. Doesn't always parties don't. The courts don't always appreciate that, but it's the parties who choose to go to arbitration rather than to go to national courts.
Right.
So it's a system which is built by party autonomy.
And what were you talking about in your speech? The topic is human endeavor. What were you covering?
Well, I was moderating one of the courses on sociology and education.
What was the main takeaway of that?
I'm not sure there was a main takeaway. The diversity of where parties come from, where our lawyers come from, and trying to find a common basis to take into account the interests and the expectations of people, whatever their background. Now, if you start with the Western systems that we're all used to, you've got the Asia, which has broken down into various different systems. You've got people coming. One of our speakers was from Pakistan, somebody else was from China, and all of those bringing them together. And I think that was the interesting thing. How it will develop, that's a ICCA problem for the future.
Thank you so much. That was very insightful. Thank you, Professor Liu.
And what do you think having the event here means for Hong Kong?
I think it's good that for some people they haven't been back to Hong Kong for a number of years, given
Or have
the
never been
pandemic,
there.
or have never been to Hong Kong. So I think the best way for someone to understand a city, a jurisdiction, is to really be in the place, experience the culture on the ground, talk to people here. So the fact that ICCA is happening in Hong Kong this year, so that everyone has an opportunity to gather and exchange ideas, I think it's fantastic, both for Hong Kong and for all the practitioners. We are all so pleased that so many people turn up, and from over 70 jurisdictions. And I think there's just really good energy. Everyone's been enjoying the sessions and the side events, the social side of the ICCA Congress. So yeah, very happy, very pleased.
So you're a speaker at the Congress. What are you talking about?
So I've already done my session. It was on cross-cultural differences in arbitration.
And what's the main takeaway?
So the main takeaway is that we have a one-size-fits-all, but the reality is, even in the most trivial things, there are so many cultural aspects that most of us miss. And you just have to be more attuned and empathetic and actually know that there's a problem.
Can you give an example of a cultural thing to miss?
Simple. In India, the way we write pleadings and documents, allegations of fraud, etc., are reasonably easily made. But for a Western arbitrator, if you say fraud, then they take it in a very different fashion.
They take it seriously. If you say fraud,
Interestingly, it's not an issue with India, or it was the same issue in the Iran-US tribunal, where the Iranians, so it's a cultural thing. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's the allegation's not a big deal. It doesn't mean that you undermine the main substance of the case. You don't take away a negative opinion and in the process actually miss the substance of the case. It happens sometimes. Or
do you think that being one of the focuses of the discussion here at the ICCA Congress is because there's a concern that maybe international arbitration is too Western dominated in its approach?
In a sense, yes. But I think apart from being Western dominated, I think now there's an international culture of international arbitration to which we all want to conform. And something's lost in the process.
Is there a compilation of all these cultural differences where you can look them up and if you have like an American arbitrator, you need to act a certain way?
I don't know what the answer is, but somebody from New Zealand gave me a very interesting example. They had, in a New Zealand court, they had a cultural expert on Chinese custom testifying before the case went on. As in how businesses work within the Chinese community. So maybe something like that. Maybe just talking about it, or maybe some sort of guidelines. I mean, you can't really write down any guidelines. It's just a matter of the lawyer being a bridge between the client, the party, and the arbitrator.
But I suppose what we're seeing is that ICCA is talking about that. That's been part of the discussion here. That's presumably, you think, important that there is a focus on that.
I think it's important that it's not just black letter law. There's some importance being given to human behavior. It's not all about AI and it's not about the right result. So it's an interesting topic. I mean, I was quite intrigued when I first saw it. It's very different from previous ICCAs.
Excellent. Well, thanks very much for contributing to this, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the Congress.
Thank you. Thank you. Pleasure meeting you.
So here, a true superstar, how are you enjoying ICCA?
ICCA is great. It's always a pleasure to be part of this conference. I mean, the last one was in Edinburgh, which was awesome, and Hong Kong is a delight.
What do you think about the topic human endeavor?
It's certainly unexpected, but I'm learning more every day, and I'm looking forward to the next ICCA is in Madrid, I think, right?
Yes. Yes. I mean, and I understand it is about the professionals practicing and how that influences the practice that you're being a person. And also AI. What role does that play in your daily work?
AI is becoming increasingly important, and my CEO, Chris Bogart, is actually speaking on the AI panel tomorrow morning, which will be quite insightful. And we are using it increasingly in litigation funding to streamline our due diligence and our investments.
Did you write his speech or did he write it himself?
He wrote it himself, fortunately.
What do you think of AI? Do you use it?
Yeah, we do use it increasingly. It's not something that we are doing on everything yet because personal touch is still very important as to how things are done in my business, but I can see a world where it will streamline things moving forward.
Do you think that's part of the reason that ICCA has gone with this focus on the human endeavor? Because there is a real concern from some that AI and technology is going to, potentially take our jobs.
I don't think AI can ever replace the human element in law and in funding. AI is amazing, but it can't necessarily tell tone. It can't decide when you're reading an award, for example, which member of the tribunal has written that part.
Well, that's at the moment, but AI in 2 years' time, what will that look like?
We don't know, but right now, I'm comfortable with the fact that I know more than AI.
Coming back maybe to the conference that we experience as human beings.
Yeah.
What makes the conference worth attending for you?
Well, it's the people. It's seeing everyone from around the world and getting to participate in what I think is the best legal conference any year.
Yes, especially 2 years ago.
Well,
now you're just flattering me. No, it's great for me to be here because I'm not behind the scenes having to make sure that everything's working. So yeah, it's great to be here.
you get to have more fun this year,
I
right?
get to have more fun.
Even more fun.
Even more fun. And it's just getting better and better with every conference as more and more people are coming from different places and different experiences. And it's only going to get better, in Madrid and I think Kigali after that.
No, San Francisco.
Is it San Francisco? Oh, even better. It's closer to home.
Very good to see you. Thanks for taking the time.
You.
You're an arbitration institution that is here and has an exhibition stand, and you've clearly done that at a number of ICCA Congresses before. Do you think that's important for your institution to come to these events? Do you go to a lot of other congresses?
Yes, I think it's highly valuable for us to always have a presence in these major events because it helps us connect with new people and obviously widen our horizon and our networking capacities. But also I feel like something that a lot of people maybe undermine or underappreciate is maintaining the connections you've built from the past. So, the arbitration world is quite small, and having, based on the theme of this Congress, especially the human touch, having that human touch and maintaining those relationships is key to succeeding generally in any business, but I think even more so in the arbitration and ADR field.
Maybe for the people less knowledgeable than Andrew, what is your role at ICCA? How do you contribute?
Oh, I'm a member of ICCA. I'm a past vice president of the governing board, and I'm now a governing board member. I'm not sure when my tenure expires, but soon I hope. But I will still be attending ICCA events. It's a great place to meet people who are committed to arbitration, who are committed to the growth of arbitration at an international level.
What do you think the role of ICCA is in making arbitration maybe connect more?
Emphasizing the international aspect of it. So you have, and yet it's solely restricted to arbitration. So I think the educational role that comes from the various panels is great. The ability to read papers that are presented on the basis of your being on a panel is fantastic. So later in the year, you get the yearbook and you can actually read up on, and I think that's one of the, for me, it's one of the major highlights and selling points of ICCA.
And do you think it's important, and you're obviously involved in the governing board, but is it important for ICCA that this event really does move around the world and tries to go to jurisdictions to find out more about what's happening and also to support those jurisdictions?
Well, definitely. And I think we need to do more to go to jurisdictions where we can support,
Yes.
as opposed to jurisdictions that are just easily accessible,
Yep.
as opposed to some jurisdictions may be difficult, either in terms of the ability to host the number of people that ICCA is used to, or in terms of access to those countries. But if we really want to develop arbitration on a worldwide scale, then we just need to commit to going to what I would call the less internationally accepted or internationally known jurisdictions. I think ICCA needs to do more on that aspect.
And I mean, on that, it happens every 2 years, this event. That's maybe why it's so big and successful, but could it happen more than every 2 years? Should there be, if there's to be events, maybe it could be a smaller scale event where they might go to some of the jurisdictions you're talking about?
Well, I know that next year, for instance, there is going to be a governing board meeting in Rwanda. And in Rwanda in June, I think 3rd and 4th of June next year. And there's going to be a one-day, like an ICCA workshop to promote young ICCA especially, and to discuss arbitration on the African continent. And I think that's a good idea. In terms of other governing board meetings, I think it's also an opportunity for at least the governing board not just to have a meeting in a less well-known jurisdiction. It's not a precedent yet. I'm hoping that it will be, that we'd look at that. At the moment, the ICCA tries to go between the well-traveled path and the less well-traveled path. But I'm not sure that those distinctions are really that. I think it's more a question of between Europe and Asia, or Europe and America. We need to expand our footprint.
I agree. Well, good. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us.
It's a pleasure. Thank you so much. I really have.